Greetings polyglots and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to use movies to learn a language. Oh my gosh, yes, it's possible. You can do that. It's effective. So if you'd like to know, keep watching. Okay, so welcome back. So let me tell you a quick story. When I was learning Korean, I wanted to find a new way to study vocabulary. It's just so boring to just use textbooks and just use flashcards over and over and over and over and over again to study vocabulary. It gets hella boring, okay? Hella boring. And so I was like, I want to spice up my studies. How do I add a new interesting method to learn vocabulary and have a good time as well? So I looked up some videos, I went on YouTube and I saw that a lot of language learners were using movies to learn languages. And then I said, but how though? How do you learn? How are you learning through the movie? And when I looked at what they were doing, this girl who was learning Swedish or something, she had the English subtitles on. And I said, well, what are you actually learning if the subtitles are on? I just, it didn't really make much sense to me. You're just kind of passively listening to the movie and getting passive knowledge about how the language sounds, which is not helpful. I kind of was unhappy with that. So I tried to figure out how could I use a movie to actually learn a language, and here's what I came up with. So, the first step, you need to find a movie, obviously. What you can do is you can use Netflix, you can use Hulu, you can use some other totally reliable but unidentified source. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you find a good movie that you like and that you will enjoy, something not too crazy like science fiction, and make sure it has subtitles in the target language, and I'll tell you why. If you're learning French, make sure it has French subtitles and not English subtitles. That's the kicker. You can't have English subtitles. I'm sorry to do this to you. I'm so sorry. No English. So, the other thing, the reason why you shouldn't have English subtitles is that you should already understand 60 to 70% of the movie. How? Watch the first 15 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie, and if you understand what's going on, if you get the gist of what's happening, for 60 to 70%, you're like, okay, I understand, and just a few things are kind of going over you, like, okay, what was that? Okay, what was that? That's okay, okay? That's just a few things are going over you, but you understand what's happening, okay? If you understand less than that, okay? If you are watching the movie and you're like, what the hell is that? And everything's just, what the hell? What did he say? What? Then no, you shouldn't watch that movie, okay? It'll be difficult for especially lower level learners to find a movie, but you can just Google like easy movies to watch in XYZ language and there should be some suggestions for you. But if you did find a movie that you understand the gist of, then perfect. So, find a good movie, an easy movie with subtitles in the target language, no English. Already be able to understand 60 to 70% of it. Understand the gist of what's happening, okay? So the next thing you want to do is enjoy the movie, okay? You've determined you can understand most of it. Watch the whole thing, okay? Again, with no English. No English, okay? You can read the subtitles in the target language. Hopefully that will help, but you can't have any English, I'm so sorry. So, once you've watched the whole movie, take another day after you watch the whole movie, and watch it in segments. You can watch it in 5 or 10-minute segments, okay? So, if you watch it in 10-minute segments, everything within that 10 minutes, you're going to learn the vocabulary that you did not know, or the grammar that you did not know, okay? So, first 10 minutes, first 5 minutes, learn all the grammar and the vocabulary that you do not know. If you heard something, you're like, what is that? Beautiful thing is, you have the target language subtitles right there. Whatever you didn't hear, you just look at the subtitles, pick out the word, put it in the dictionary, bada bing, bada boom, you've learned it now. Okay? It's important to not have English at this point because you need to feel the language. I feel like Bruce Lee right now. Don't think, feel, you know? When you think too hard and you try to translate something directly from English into the target language, it's always a disaster. You need to think like the native speaker. You need to think like whatever language you're speaking in order to communicate an idea. The best way to do that is to remove the English. Obviously, you're translating when you don't know a word, you have to translate it from that language, target language, to English. But you're not getting the whole sentence this meeting. You just need to know the words, okay? So you need to feel, you know, the difference in meaning and the translation, okay? Not try to translate it directly from English. So don't think, feel, okay? The next thing you want to do is study the vocabulary. You've got the vocabulary now, you've looked up the meaning, you have the definition, study it. You should write down all the vocabulary words that you don't know so you could stick it in some flashcards or something for later on, okay? So that you could study it later. So just study the vocabulary. If there's something you don't know, if there is some grammar, some idiom, something that doesn't translate quite right, ask for help, okay? Go on italki. You can go, I think italki is the big one. I would go on italki to the community and just say, what does this mean? And then native speakers can respond to you and say, yeah, this is what this means. This is how we translate it. And then you go, oh, okay, now you know for next time. Okay, excellent. So, once you have studied the vocabulary, once you've watched the entire movie in 10-minute segments, oh, quick note, do not try to study the whole movie in one setting. I feel like this is obvious, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Don't study the whole movie in one sitting. Definitely don't do that. Maybe do 20 minutes per day, just 20 minutes, up to 20 minutes. You don't want to burn out, okay? Don't get too tired. I know you're excited to watch Frozen in French, but let's not get too tired, okay? So, the last thing you want to do after you've studied the vocabulary and all the grammar and everything to the point where you're comfortable with it is to rewatch the movie. Yay! So when you rewatch the movie for the last time, so you've watched it 3 times at this point, once you rewatch the movie the last time, you need to turn off everything. No English, no subtitles, even in the target language. You're just gonna watch it in the language, that's it. Okay, and that is it. That is how you use a movie to study a language. Usually this takes, like me personally, this takes like a week to do. I set aside like a week. So I don't really do I do other things on this? Yeah, I might do a few other things, like learn some song lyrics too on the side, but usually I devote all my attention to watching this movie. It might take 5 days, you know, something like that to get through the whole thing. But it's really fun, really effective. You learn some really helpful things, the way people more naturally speak, some interesting humor as well. It's really super helpful. So, I hope this was helpful. Hope to see you in my next video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. What are you doing? And also check out my blog on Tumblr, and I'm also on Instagram because I keep up with the young kids. And I'll just see you in the next video. Bye!